never more a queen than in the laying down of scepter and of crown, to win a greater kingdom yet unseen, teaching us how to seek the highest goal, to earn the true success, to live, to love, to bless, and make them proud to take a royal soul. Vicky Astourian was born in Cairo, Egypt on April 17, 1946, to Agnes and Alice Alemian. She was the sixth of 7 children. Her siblings, Danielle, Jack, Edo, Nagi, Rosie, and Mona, welcomed her into the growing and happy family. Life soon took a difficult turn for the family when their father suddenly passed away at the young age of 44. Vicky was only 10 years old at the time. Soon thereafter, Vicky felt obligated to leave school at the age of 13 and began working to help support her family. Her first job was at a photo shop where she was so well liked that she quickly took on more responsibilities. 5 years later, Vicky became an airline hostess with Air Sudan and enjoyed traveling for the remainder of the year. Vicky met her husband Coco Astourian while vacationing in the Red Sea, and they married only 2 weeks thereafter in 1966. Vicky moved from Egypt to Lebanon to join Coco and his family and began a new life together. They were blessed with a daughter in 1967, who they named Dina. They had another daughter, but unfortunately she passed away at only 2 months from polio. Vicky was very conscious of having an only child, and she made great efforts to visit Egypt each year so that Dina could grow up together with her cousins. Today, Dina and her cousins Sherry and Honey are more like brother and sister due to the outgoing efforts Vicky made. Vicky's entrepreneurial spirit and fashion sense were a strong part of her personality, and they were quickly made evident when she started a boutique in Beirut called Boutique Dina and invested in real estate mansions. Since Coco traveled frequently for business for long periods of time, Vicky took charge of the family's financial affairs and supported Coco's family. Both her mother-in-law and sisters-in-law adored Vicky, and she in turn showed her devotion to them by always taking care of them. Being the driven person she was, Vicky taught herself both Armenian and English. When the civil war began in Lebanon, the Astourian family moved to Egypt for 8 months, then to Dubai in 1976. There, Vicky worked in the jewelry business for a few years and built a large circle of friends. Vicky and Coco moved to Los Angeles in 1987 and joined Dina, who had already been studying at USC for a couple of years. Vicky continued to work in the jewelry business until 1988, when Vicky and Coco purchased Desario shoes. Vicky had found her best entrepreneurial fit at Desario, and she poured all her emotional and creative energy and time into making it a successful and flourishing business. She fostered many employee relationships, business partnerships, and friendships during her time at Desario, and leaves behind a huge legacy of all her achievements. In 1993, a great event brought Vicky enormous joy and pride. Her daughter, Dina, married Dr. Rafi Gedikian, and the Astourian family grew tenfold with the addition of all the Gedikian relatives. Just when Vicky was at her happiest with her growing family, she encountered even greater joy with the birth of her first grandchild, Alec, in 1995, and also with the arrival of her beloved granddaughter, Carla, in 2000. Vicky devoted countless hours to her family, supporting her daughter and her son-in-law, and nurturing her grandchildren. She was always conscious to make time for them, although she was far away from her siblings and her nieces and nephews, who were spread across the globe. She made sure to see them often and anxiously awaited their visit every summer. Vicky was known as a gracious host and constantly loved to entertain. She welcomed her family, friends and relatives year-round at her home and always prepared something delicious to savor. Being a devoted and competent cook, she proudly invited all her family to enjoy Thanksgiving dinner together every year. Everyone who knew Vicky knew her to be full of life and very wise. So many relatives and friends requested her advice and guidance. She was a selfless soul who always put others before her. Whether it was reaching out to friends and family or listening to her employees, Vicky made the time to be present. She was present in everyone's lives and knew how to bring out the best in them. She made it a point to befriend everyone, whether they were 5 or 95, and she did not hold any grudges towards anyone. Her untimely death was a shock to us all. For as long as we knew her, Vicky was always healthy, energetic, and full of life. Therefore, the news of her passing was so hard to bear. However, she succumbed to whatever ailed her and left us thinking of her never-ending selfless image. God granted Vicky's wish to not endure suffering, not only for herself, but also for all her loved ones. Although he called her too soon, we take comfort in the thought that Vicky is now with Jesus as she wished. Khalil Gibran says, "When you are sorrowful, look again in your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight." We will always cherish Vicky's warm spirit and all the sweet memories. Rest in peace, my friend.